the American Film Institute released a list of cinema history's 50 greatest heroes and 50 greatest villains. And the one entry that I had a bit of a problem with was the fact that the American Film Institute had voted man as the number 20 greatest villain of all time. I think we can do better. I of course refer to the role that he played in Bambi, where he loads his gun, all the deer run for their lives, and Bambi's mother dies. And I know that was for me, and I'm sure a few other people in this room. My first experience with the concept of death, my first experience with the concept of a last breath, yes, it was the first time it had ever even crossed my mind that things could die. And that changed me inside. But because I always seem to need to be first in every race, let me tell you why I think we should be higher than 20th place. Maybe it's just some displaced anguish, but I would give us at least a 19 for the use of sexist language. And I would say an 18 for everything that I did on my 18th birthday. But I'm actually not supposed to talk about that, court order. But I would say a 17 for when the last tree falls in the forest and everyone hears it, but nobody cares. And 16, Ann Coulter. Just saying. And I would say a 15 for blitzkriegs when they succeed and humanity fails, and the bullet holes in the steeple walls read the people fall, written out in braille. And I would say a 14 for domestic violence that goes unseen. The scene of the pristine is hiding bruises under black and blue jeans. And I would say a 13th place for the invention of race, judgments passed on the skin color and shape of the face. And I'd say a 12th for wealth that doesn't trickle down, but just pulls the strings, crowns the king, sounds muted in the bell tower when the chimes of freedom try to ring. And I would say an 11 for the prophet of false promise who promises you heaven with your finger on the trigger, telling you that you can pull your way into something bigger. And I would say a 10 for when I pretend like everything is fine again, and my friends do the same, and I stand up for what I believe in under the pretense of a fake name. And I would say a 9 for mankind, for the invention of landmines. I'm calling out for justice, and they're cutting the landline. And I would say an 8 for evolving past apes, but not evolving past rape. And I would say a 7. Because after 7 years, man is the one who is still voting for Stephen Harper. And I would say 6th on this list because there are myths that persist to twist our existence no matter the persistence of our resistance. And 5th, fuck, finally, a finish line of fitting fabrication for fortune or fame when man set Bambi's forest ablaze. And I would say a 4. Because I seem to be more concerned with the scratch on my car door than with the genocide in Darfur. And number 3 can be summed up by one word: war. And number 2, for every time we force a child to load a gun and... Look, we really are number 1.